You are listening to PowerScore's Featured Law Schools podcast series. Today's featured law school is Florida State University College of Law. Currently ranked number 50 by the U.S. News and World Report, FSU Law has a total full-time enrollment of about 736 students and currently costs a little over $18,000 for full-time in-state students and a little over $37,000 for full-time out-of-state students. For the class that's graduating in 2012, from around 2,600 applicants, 200 matriculated. When it came to the admission for the fall of 2010, the median LSAT score was a 162, while the median GPA was a 3.52. Representing Florida State University College of Law on our podcast today is the Dean of the Law School, Donald Widener, and a 3L student, Tara Klimek-Price. Dean Widener says FSU has a few things that make them distinctly different than other law schools: location, cost, faculty expertise, and school spirit.
I think we have a distinct combination of faculty expertise, institutional culture, location, and cost. In terms of faculty expertise, our faculty has a reputation for high impact, high quality scholarship that makes a difference in the real world. So, for example, we have noted experts in topics ranging from environmental law, energy law, access to medicines, and corporate governance. And what our faculty tend to do in this scholarship is address a wide range of constituencies. They address not only other academics, they address policymakers, they discuss business people, and so their work is useful to a lot of people, and hence it's widely cited. The scholarship is important because what the faculty spends their time on in terms of scholarship informs what they do in the classroom, and it also indicates the kind of activities they tend to involve the students in outside the classroom. Activities such as writing manuscripts, either working with the faculty on manuscripts, having students work on their own manuscripts, participating in legislative advocacy or other pro bono work, or working in internships, whether for government agencies or for major corporations. Our faculty scholarship, and hence the classes they teach, tend to be more interdisciplinary than many. They pull in the insights of other disciplines such as history, philosophy, psychology, medicine, economics, and many of our faculty have PhDs in these other areas. In terms of the institutional culture, that I think we really have a very special place here. I think we have a culture that supports success, which seems to pop out all over the place. Our students come to us with great credentials. They have an average LSAT of 162, an average grade point average of 3.5, and they have a wonderful school spirit as among themselves. As they like to put it, they're competitive without being a cutthroat. We have, frankly, we have a lot of fun here. We have now a tradition. We have a flag football game every year in which the students from the two big in-state rival schools, University of Florida and Florida State, have flag football games with us each year, and that they're very well attended. And so there's also a high level of collaboration among students and faculty, and the faculty really do engage with the students on everything from their classwork to their co-curricular activities to helping them find jobs. And it shows both in the student outcomes while the students are still here in school as students and when they graduate. This past year, for example, we won first place victories in 4 national moot court competitions. Many of our students publish articles not only in our 3 in-house student-run scholarly journals, but also in the journals of other law schools. The Student Bar Association For 2 out of the last 3 years, our Student Bar Association was selected the SBA of the Year by the American Bar Association Law Student Division, and then the third year it won a pro bono leadership award. Our BALSA chapter, the Black Law Students Association, 3 years ago was named the National BALSA Chapter of the Year, and just this year our BALSA chapter was named the Southern Regional BALSA Chapter of the Year, and we're hoping to get the National BALSA Chapter of the Year again this year. But so these sort of successes just pop up. I mean, the students are just doing it themselves, and in some cases in collaboration with the faculty. But in some cases, they're just taking the ball and running with it themselves, and it's sort of exciting to see it happen.
And when applying to FSU Law, Dean Widener says you should definitely come and visit. The best time to visit is when classes are in session and you're able to see how students interact with each other.
Well, I would say come visit us. Now we tend to have a lot of days. We have an admitted students day and a scholar day. We have these open houses. We tend to hold them on Friday because most of the admitted students say that's the easiest day for them to attend. I would say if you really are looking hard at a law school, if you really want to kick the tires properly, try to come to the law school sometime during the week when there's really the fullest number of classes in session. Try to come between a Monday and a Thursday. I would speak with as many students as possible. I'd sit in on some classes. If you want to talk with alumni to see how satisfied they are with the school and what they think of the program, our alumni database is online. You can call up if you're interested in wherever it is. If you're going to Atlanta or Tampa or Orlando, and you want to find out who our alumni are, just click on the online database and you can identify who they are and give them a call and send them an email and see what they think. I'd say also if you're interested in particularly in the particular subjects, our faculty are all listed on the web page. Their emails are all listed on the web page. I'd email the faculty and see if they're going to be available to chat with you when you're coming through town, or see if they can answer by email questions you might have about the school or the program. If you're a non-resident, then I would particularly encourage you to talk with our admissions office about the possibility of achieving residency classification after 1 year. At our shop, there's a huge difference between resident tuition and non-resident tuition. Resident tuition this year is about $16,000 a year. Non-resident tuition is about $36,000 a year. And properly counseled, many students find to their great satisfaction and relief that after their first year they get to classify themselves as a Florida resident.
Dean Widener also says that when deciding on a law school, it will depend on the culture you want.
Well, I would definitely I've covered that to some extent. I would talk to the student. I would say it depends on the very much on the culture you want. When I went to law school, I had no idea really what I was going to do with my law degree when I got out. I think most students who come to law school don't have a very clear idea of what they want to do with a law degree when they get out. So I would say when you're looking at a law school, see if the law school experience, both inside the classroom and outside the classroom, is going to be as varied as possible and as high quality as possible to give you a better idea of essentially what you want to be when you grow up. Some of us don't come about that very easily. So I think for us, it's just a very, very interesting place to be at Florida State. We just have a lot of students with very high aspiration, high level of achievement, high level of credentials. The faculty are extremely competitive. You know, University of Chicago's Brian Leiter rated us the 23rd best law faculty in the country in terms of per capita scholarly impact. What it means is you have a very ambitious faculty, and our ambitious faculty just happen to be very engaged with the students. They'll take the students along on a very nice ride, with the caveat that the student organizations themselves, whether it be Moot Court or Student Bar Association or BALSA, they also have that momentum going for them. So a lot of it they can do without us, and do it without us on the faculty.
And when it comes to the student perspective of FSU Law, 3L student and gubernatorial fellow Tara Clemick-Price says the best aspect of her school is the city that it's in, Tallahassee.
I think one of the best things about FSU Law is being in Tallahassee. There are so many opportunities to interact with not only your professors and the things you would normally find at a law school, but the things that Tallahassee has to offer, being the state capital of Florida. We've got the Florida Supreme Court walking distance from our school. We have the Florida Capitol itself walking distance from our school. And it just provides a number of opportunities to get involved during legislative sessions, to volunteer, to have a part-time job, and to really interact with Florida government and the legal system before you graduate law school. And that's just incredibly invaluable during the year.
Tara says an important aspect of her experience in law school is student life, and says FSU's program is very approachable and comfortable.
And as I was looking at law schools, that was the one thing that was very important to me. I knew law school was going to be, difficult. It's going to take a lot of time and attention, and it's going to be hard. It's a grueling process. And so I wanted to be somewhere where I felt comfortable, where I felt like there was a cooperative environment. And here at FSU Law, it's great. Not only the students are willing to share and work with you and help you, but also your professors always have an open door policy. Always you can come see them, even unannounced. And it's really incredible. And that's just something that I think you don't always find at every law school. When I first got here, I was like, okay, well, it'll be like this the first couple of weeks, and then we'll see what happens once we get closer to exams. And it really stayed that way the whole time. People are just willing to share their outlines and study together, and it just really makes it for a great environment to learn, especially when you know that we're all going to be colleagues years and years from now down the road.
And finally, Tara agrees with Dean Widener and says you should come and visit FSU Law and see the environment for yourself. She says you will find professors willing to stop in the hall and speak with you, which she says is very comforting.
I would tell them to come visit. That is definitely what did it for me, was to come visit and to see the environment and to get to interact with people. You will find professors just willing to stop in the halls when they find out you're a prospective student, and other students too. Just, let me tell you about this, and let me tell you about this experience. I think being here and seeing the school, seeing the facilities that we have, a lot of which are modern and have been recently updated, and just being able to interact with the faculty, some of the administration, and the students will give you a really good feel for what it's like to be a student here. And then again, you can also see the proximity that FSU Law has with the Capitol, with the Florida Supreme Court. We have a number of judges from the first BCA and even local judges and attorneys teaching our classes. It's just an incredible environment. So I think when you go around and you visit law schools, that will really help give you the most information, something that a picture book can't give you. And I think once you come visit FSU Law, you'll want to come here.
Thank you for listening to PowerScore's podcast series. If you want more information on PowerScore's podcasts or services, please visit PowerScore.com, or you can call 1-800-545-1750.